Diocese of Missouri. I bring you greetings from your siblings in Christ here in the Diocese of West Missouri. I'm excited to share with you today that for the first time in the Diocese of West Missouri's history, on January 14th, 2023, the diocese will be celebrating at Grace and Holy Trinity Cathedral right here in Kansas City the life and legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Bishop Kim Lucas, the Bishop of Colorado, will be our guest preacher that day. And I'm excited to share that with you because the legacy, the life, the words, the wisdom, the truth that Martin Luther King Jr. preached, spoke, and lived is so important for us today, not only in each of our dioceses, but in this country and in this world. You know, he wrote a sermon that he delivered at our Washington National Cathedral on March 31st, 1968, and it was the last Sunday sermon that he preached. It was entitled, Remaining Awake Through a Great Revolution, and I want to read you a snippet of it because I think it encapsulates so much of what Dr. King held as dear, what Dr. King preached and taught and worked for and died for. Dr. King wrote, quote, "Through our scientific and technological genius, we have made of this world a neighborhood, and yet we have not had the ethical commitment to make of it a brotherhood. But somehow and in some way, we have all got to do this. We must all learn to live together as brothers or sisters, or we will all perish together as fools. We are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. And whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. For some strange reason, I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. And you can never be what you ought to be until I am what I ought to be. This is the way God's universe is made. This is the way it is structured. John Donne caught it years ago and placed it in graphic terms. Donne said, quote, "No one is an island entire of itself. Everyone is a piece of the continent, a part of the main," end quote. And he goes on toward the end to say, quote, "Anyone's death diminishes me because I am involved in humankind. Therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee," end quote. King went on to say, we must see this, believe this, and live by it if we are to remain awake through a great revolution. And we need to remain awake, especially now. The world cries for us to remain awake, to understand that everything we do has a direct effect on other human beings and the world all around us. May we all continue to celebrate and live out the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We need his teaching in this world today, now more than ever.